Shalom. The Israelites are in the west. They're in the Western Hemisphere. This is gonna be something quick. I'm gonna get into and prove through the scriptures. All right. But before I do, call on my Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakadash, double honors to the hopefully like elder apostles at the Great Millstone Church. Shalom to all the Akim out here under the same doctrine, doing what they need to do in order according to the scriptures to the best of their ability, and nonetheless and regardless if you're across the four corners of the globe, which our people are, and to the rest of the believers in on this. So yeah, Baruch 4:37, lo, I'm gonna actually start at verse 36. O Jerusalem, dealing with the Israelites, look about thee toward the east. So that's proving it. Actual lands don't look. It says, look about thee toward the east. Why? Because that's where the Israelites are from. That's where the land of Israel, Yasher Allah, is at. Anyway, and behold, the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. So obviously they're not in the east. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One. That's dealing with America, the Western Hemisphere, the Americas. That's the West. It says, by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Let's go here. Now, how did that become the case? This is Isaiah 26:14, to where the Israelites aren't even in, the land of Israel. We know about the diaspora. Obviously, the diaspora happened. Israelites were exiled, which we'll get into further. But anyway, let's prove that they would be in the west, originally being in the east, as we just read. That's why they are to look unto the east. Right? But anyway, Isaiah 26:14, I'm going to start at Slaki, verse 14. It says, and this whole chapter, by the way, is about the Israelites. And ultimately, when you jump down, it goes into the Israelites' restoration. If you read it in certain headers, certain Bibles, it actually say that. You go into the blue letter. But anyway, this is Isaiah 26:15. Thou hast increased the nation, O Lord Yahweh. Thou hast increased the nation. Thou art glorified. Thou hast removed it far unto all the ends of the earth. So let's read that again. Thou hast increased the nation, meaning the Israelites, O Lord Yahweh. Thou hast increased the nation. Thou art glorified. Thou hast removed it far unto all the ends of the earth. So when you get that word remove, that word remove goes into sending away. All right, meaning distance, as far as in distance. It says the word right here you got is rakhab, or rahab. But anyway, it says become far distant. It says neglect, abandon, utter absence. Jumping down, it says of Israel. See that? It says of Israel right here. If you think this is actually talking about heathens, no. But anyway, it says of Israel, figuratively, it says equals far from land of. See that? So the Lord said he removed us far, unto all the ends of the earth. It says shall become distant. When you read on again, also what sin far away of people. All right, sin far away of people. Reading on, it also says what? Be gone far. Going back, it says, thou hast removed it far into all the ends of the earth. Now, how did this happen? Deuteronomy 28:64. It says, and the Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. So one end of the earth will be the end we was originally in, which is the east. That's one end of the earth. Directions go south, north, south, east, west. East to west, north to south. That's it. So from one end will be from the east, ultimately to the west, the north, and the south. You know? And you will have Israelites still in the east too, because we're scattered everywhere, but the Israelites will be where? In the west. Because that's the ends of the earth, the western hemisphere. The Israelites, the Lord is telling us the Israelites are in the west. They're in the western hemisphere, the Americas, right? And there shalt thou serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. How? Because we broke the commandments. Now, when you go to Psalms 103 and 12, it says, as far as the east is from the west, so far hath he removed our transgressions from us. So that tells you that's exactly what the Lord meant. But this actually started with the Israelites, the northern kingdom. Let me read this real quick. It says, Jeremiah 17 and let's start at 12. But go ye now unto my place, which was in Shiloh, where I set my name at the first, and see what I did to it for the wickedness of my people Israel. Right, dealing with the land. Now, jumping down, it says, the scriptures tell you when you read the things that the Messiah was prophesying about in Luke 21 and 24. He said, the land shall be trodden down, the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled, meaning they will be in the land, running the land. Why? Because we will have been far removed. So, matter of fact, when you go back and make that clear to you, it says what? Isaiah 26 and 15, thou hast increased the nation, O Lord, thou hast increased the nation, thou art glorified, thou hast removed it far unto all the ends of the earth, meaning the Lord brought forth the consequence if we didn't keep the commandments, which was what? Deuteronomy 28:64, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. See that? So it has happened. We have been sent away far, distant, made distant, all the way to the western hemisphere. We're in the west right now. It's us. See that? And there shalt thou serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So we're going to come back to make that clear. It says, Psalms 103 and verse 12, as far as the east is from the west, so far hath he removed our transgressions from us. And this all started out by this was made possible by the Israelites that was first sent far away, removed far away. You know, that first got the repercussions of not keeping the commandments, which was to be sent from one end of the earth all the way to the other, which in one end being what? The east, all the way to the west. And that was brought forth by who are called the Native American Indians and so-called Latinos, who are Israelites, right? By what? When they were the first people in America, when they traveled here. But let's prove that. This is Jeremiah 7 and 15. I will cast you out of my sight as I have cast all your brethren. See that? Let's read this 14th verse. It says, so I'm going to just read 12 again. But go now, ye now into my place, which was in Shiloh, where I set my name at the first, and see what I did to it for the wickedness of my people Israel. That's dealing with the land. And now because ye have done all these works, saith the Lord Yahweh, and I spake unto you rising early and speaking, but ye heard not, and I called you, but ye answered not. Therefore will I do unto this house which is called by my name, wherein ye trust, and unto the place which I gave to you and to your fathers, as I have done to Shiloh. See that? He messed us up and the land up, which is how we always scattered. Israelites are scattered and heathens are in the land right now. But where the Israelites be at again? In the west, where you know who got there first out of the Israelites. And I will cast you out of my sight, as I have cast all of your brethren, even the whole seed of Ephraim. Now, that's who went first, the northern kingdom, which is labeled is labeled the northern kingdom, right? They came to a land which no man had ever dwelt. You know what? To prove that, let's go to Ezekiel in the 36th chapter. All right. And we're going to jump to verse 24. It says, no, actually, hold on, you know what? It's 37th chapter. Okay, this is Ezekiel 37 and verse 24. It says, yeah, sorry, I couldn't see this. But anyway, this is Ezekiel 37 and verse, let's start at 21. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be to them all, and they shall no more be two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. So there you go. So the first people to be casted out was Ephraim. First Israelites to be casted out, scattered to the Western Hemisphere, were the northern kingdom. Because as you see, a split happened between our people, right? They were sent. They was the first people sent to the Western Hemisphere. That would have to be who? That would have to be your so-called Native American Indians. See? So you can't make this up. Now, when you go to 2nd Ezra 13, we're just going to prove that real quick. 2nd Ezra 13 and 40, it says, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Oshel, the king whom Shalmaneser, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters. And so came they into another land. See that? And that another land is a place where no man ever dwelt, as it's going to go on to say. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country, where never mankind dwelt. See that? That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. Where was their own land at? Well, if the Israelites in the east, Israel, Yasha'Allah, aka Israel, which is in the east. You know? But remember, the Lord said he removed them. Because how did they get in that position to even think like that anyway? Through the Lord putting them in the Assyrian captivity. That's what happened to the northern kingdom. But anyway, those were the first Israelites that will get the repercussions for not keeping the commands of the Lord, to where they will be scattered unto a whole another end of the earth, which is what? The Western Hemisphere. See that? So that would have to be these Native American Indians. So the Lord is making it clear to us that what? We are in the east. The Israelites are in the east. It's that simple. All right. Jeremiah 7:15. And I will cast you out of my sight. Right? That's the rest of the Israelites. As I have cast out all your brethren, even the whole seed of Ephraim. See that? So the northern kingdom Israelites went first to the Western Hemisphere, which would be the Native American Indians. And then who else came next? The Southern Kingdom, which is the so-called Negroes, so-called West Indians. See that? To where? Where were they brought to? To the Western Hemisphere, the Americas. See that? There's so many scriptures you can get to that proves this. When you actually go to this is Deuteronomy 33:7, and this is the blessing of Judah, and he said, "Hear the Lord Yahweh, the voice of Judah, and bring him unto his people." See that? And that's how it'll be done, ultimately through the curses. You know, that's why the Lord said, "My wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I had mercy upon thee." You know, like it basically was a setup. The Lord did it. Well, you just got to read Deuteronomy 30th chapter. This was all set up by the Lord. He knew all of this was going to happen. I mean, I'll just jump up, you know, and let you see it. You know, Deuteronomy 30, you can start at 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call it to mind among the nations, whither the Lord thy God, Yahweh thy God, have driven thee, and shall return unto the Lord thy God, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children with all thy heart and with all thy soul. That then the Lord Yahweh thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion on thee, and return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy God have scattered thee. See that? If any of thine be driven out unto the uttermost parts, the outmost parts of the heaven, from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. See that? And the Lord gonna bring us back into our land. You know, and the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possess, and thou shalt possess it. And he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. So pretty much, yeah, the Lord said, "Let Judah be brought unto his people." So the southern kingdom came next to where the northern kingdom was scattered to the ends of the earth. Thus, if the curses. The oath, the contract, that's how it had it written. We were supposed to go to the end of the earth. So we're in the west, then all of us. So northern kingdom was brought first. They came first, and then we came, the southern kingdom. All right, so yeah, that's basically that, you know. It actually is confirmed, and now we here under our, you know, everything's going to plan as the Lord set up. Once the blessings and the curses came upon us, man, it was all set up so he could show his mercy and power and all that. But that's a whole nother thing. You know, I'm just here to show we in the West. The Israelites are in the West. We're the Israelites. This is Jeremiah 50 and 4. In those days and at that time, the children, saith the Lord, Yahweh, the children of Israel, meaning the northern kingdom, shall come, they and the children of Judah, meaning the southern kingdom, together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek the Lord their God. That was supposed to happen. That lines up with Deuteronomy 30th chapter. And what we talking about how we're cursed, we're remembering ourselves and all of this, right? They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, going back to Baruch. See? Going back to Baruch in the 4th chapter. Right? In the 36th verse, O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east. Obviously, we will be out of the east, but we will be in the places outside of the east. You know what I'm saying? But then that's even, you know, spiritual in a manifold sense. Like I said, you got Israelites still in the east, but majority of us are in the ends of the earth. Primarily we're in the Americas, the Western Hemisphere, man. You know? And Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, the place the Lord going to destroy. It's all set up. Oh, look. So look, O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from God. See that? Lo, thy sons whom thou sendest away, they come gathered together from the east to the west. From the east to the west. See that? By the Lord, the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of God. All right? Because you can't get it mistaken like, well, we're going to say we're going to end up in the West. No, we're going to go back home. We just read it, you know? We're going back to the land which our fathers has possessed, period. That's in the East. It's just saying we being gathered from the East to the West, you know, because we in places over East still. Israel's not the only thing East. We in countries, you know, east of the Americas, you know? Anyway, all over the earth, man, we scattered abroad. This is Jeremiah 50:3, but we are factually in the Western Hemisphere, man. It's Israelites, get that in your head. Israelites are in the Western Hemisphere. They mean it's Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, people actually of the Bible that's in the Americas right now, man. It's us. We're in the Americas right now as I read this. See that? So Jeremiah 50:5, they shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come, let us join ourselves unto the Lord. See? Telling his people have been a lost sheep. But anyway, I'm going to get this last one, 33. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. See that? The northern kingdom went to the east, the Western Hemisphere first, meaning the Americas. You know, was only fulfilled by the so-called natives, the Native American Indians, and the so-called Latinos. And then you had a bunch of so-called Negroes that was brought on ships over here. To where? The East. I mean the West, the Western Hemisphere, the Americas. And both of us have been oppressed together. You know? I mean the goddamn ghettos, the barrios, whatever the fuck you want to call it, man. Together. You know? Oppressed. Running the sports companies and all these, you know, these professional sports, you know, being the salt of the earth, being the engine of America, ultimately of the earth, in this place together. Ultimately, that's us being oppressed, you know? From Kyrie to Kanye. And onward. Everybody across the board, on down, celebrity or not. Everybody, not just so-called black people. We're so-called black people, natives, so-called Latinos. We're all the same people. You know? But anyway, all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. And thus showing you the place that they're in together is which is the West, is the daughter of Babylon. Read, and known their Redeemer is strong, the Lord of hosts is his name, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. So that's where they're at. They're in Babylon. It's not going to say America in the Bible. The Lord deems that place what he deems it, Babylon. In the Hebrew, that word is babal, which means it's a confusion. It's the place of mass confusion. That's America. And the most confused place on the earth is the America, is North America, man. Everything west. That's why we were sent here. That's a complete punishment. So anyway, Isaiah 43:5, fear not, I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west. The Israelites are in the Western Hemisphere right now. All right? So get that through your head. So that's basically it. So yeah, with that, call like Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Wahara Kakodash. All right? Shalom.